What is up, comic fam? Welcome to Legion of Comics. I'm Mark, and today I'm going to be looking at next week's new comic book day list to see what books are dropping that are going to be making it onto my pull list or the Legion list. But before we do any of that, check this out. I do want to give a quick thank you to the channel sponsor, Big Time Collectibles. Be sure to check them out on any of your social media platforms. They're always doing amazing stuff. You can find them at bigtimecollectibles.com. So let's get right into it. This is not as big of a week, but I've got 7 titles that I'm really looking forward to that are guaranteed reads for me, and it all kicks off with Action Comics issue number 1046. So the Warworld saga has been raging for a while. Philip Kennedy Johnson has done an amazing job at bringing Clark Kent front and center and really tapping into the essence of him with an amazing story that really shows you that not everything is too small for the Man of Steel. So in the past few issues, we've been having backup stories focusing on the surrounding characters in Superman's life, like Lois, Supergirl, Steel, all the people left behind on Earth while he's off on Warworld trying to save the people from Mongols' rule. Everything's exploding over there and we're getting closer to the final confrontation, but back on Earth, they're trying to find a way to reach Clark, to get back to Clark. And in this book, we're going to be bringing that backstory to the forefront. We have Steel and the rest of the gang trying to get the Genesis power back from one of Superman's older villains from the 90s named Conduit. So we're going to be following along with that. And also there's a backup story with Clark Kent in this one. So I'm not sure where that's going to fall into place with stuff, if it'll be on Warworld or not, but I'm excited to see. And this issue is all leading up to the final confrontation with Mongol that'll take place in Superman Warworld Apocalypse number 1. I'm not sure if it'll just be a single one-shot or a couple of issues, but it's all leading to the inevitable return of Clark Kent to Earth, which I cannot wait for. I'm looking forward to that triumphant return and how this all plays out and what kind of long-standing repercussions we'll have, or that'll have in the Superman mythos. We still haven't seen who the hidden figure was that really started this whole thing way back at the very first issue after Future State ended. And so I'm excited to see who that is. It's almost like people are kind of forgetting that there's this hooded figure that came to Mongol and really set this all in motion. So I'm pumped to see who that is. Next up, another one I'm really excited about, Human Target from Tom King. So this is a 12-issue maxi series that has had 6 issues released already. It has been amazing. The artwork in it has been phenomenal. The storytelling is just slick. Now, this is a one-shot that's kind of just going in the middle of their break period here. Human Target is on a hiatus, which they've done with a couple of these maxi series lately. So I'm excited to see what they're going to bring to the table with this. It looks like that there's a list of artists working on it. And man, I'm trying to remember the name of the artist that's the primary artist on it. Golly, it's just escaping me right now. But Christopher Chance here is the Human Target. You know, it's his job to put himself in harm's way for the sake of his employees. So we're going to see what they do with this. If it takes place timeline-wise, I'm assuming before the events of our main title is. But Smallwood, Greg Smallwood, there he is. He's the bottom name on this list. He's the primary artist on the main title. But either way, I'm excited to get this book as if nothing else, a placeholder and a fun one-shot to get us back to the main series when it kicks off. Another one that I'm really excited about is Department of Truth, and this is issue number 20. So this is definitely always on the top of my excitement list. I love the conspiracy stories and how they're interweaving them into the American history here. But we have in this issue our main character dealing with if he feels like he's on the correct side of what's happening. We have 2 different departments or ministries, as the other one is called, that are battling out for the truth of our world. And he works for the Department of Truth, but their counterpart, the Ministry of Lies, are really twisting his mind to make him question if he's on the right side of everything. And I doubt we'll find out in this issue probably more questions. That's kind of the nature of this book, is to give you a couple of answers and twice as many more questions. And it keeps me coming back, and I definitely enjoy it. Next up, we have Batman The White Knight Presents, and this is Red Hood issue number 2. So this is kind of going back and giving us more of that backstory in the history of, inside of this universe, the first Robin, who was Jason Todd. We saw a different take on the death of a family storyline where Joker gets a hold of him, what really separated Jason from Bruce. And we have him finding ways to get on his own and get by with what happened at the events of dealing with the Joker. And he's found another inspiring Robin that he has taken under his wing. And that's what this is kind of focusing on, is him really establishing himself and getting past that trauma with the Joker and seeing if he can right the wrongs that were made. Next up, we have the finale, the last issue that's slated at the moment for the new Swamp Thing, Levi Kamei. Ram V has been writing an exceptional story, originally slated for 10 issues, pushed to 16 because of the fanfare. And we have Levi, who is the avatar of the Green himself, dealing and coming to terms with the Parliament and his full potential and having to face off against this new avatar of industry that's rooted deep inside of Detroit and is planning on taking out the world. We saw him bond with a Green Lantern ring in the last issue and really go big. The philosophical questions that they tackle, the ideas that are really brought into this comic are super unique and highly enjoyable. I'm very excited to see how they cap this all off and where Levi will go from here. I do know that there's supposed to be, and it's already slated to have a Swamp Thing one-shot tie-in for Dark Crisis. So I'm assuming that this might lead us into whatever comes there. And then who knows after? The sky's really the limit after DC does, or Marvel for that matter, after any of the big two companies do a major event, there's always so much potential for new storytelling that comes out of them. So I'm definitely pumped for that. And finally on my list for this week, we've got We Live, issue number 5, and this is the finale for this volume. It's volume 2, Age of the Palladians, and we saw a lot of crazy stuff happen in the last issue. The last 2 issues really ramped everything up a good bit. And we have the Dragon, aka Humbo, and Hatoto, aka Hatoto, going pretty much Super Saiyan in that last issue. They've got the Punch reconnected, which is their source of power, and they've got the shields turned back on in the cities where the people aren't slowly dying by the environment around them. So it looks like his sister was in dire trouble. It looked like she died in the last issue. So it's going to be interesting to see if they actually did kill her off or if there's a little catch to it. Because in that first issue, she did get dropped into this energy source and it didn't kill her and no one knew why. So I'm expecting we're about to see her level up and not be dead. But either way, the Miranda brothers have written a great second volume here. In my opinion, it's definitely not as good as that first one. I don't think anything will touch that ever in terms of We Live. But this has definitely been a great installment into it. And not only am I excited to see how this ends, I'm excited to see what comes next. It really looks like this one has been written in paste with a guaranteed third volume in mind. You know, this story has been more kind of compact, but at the same time introduced so many concepts that we know we're not going to get unpacked and fully developed inside of these couple of issues. So needless to say, I'm here for this one and I cannot wait for the next one. And that's really everything that's on my guaranteed list here. And real quick, let's if you need anything cleaned or pressed, be sure to hit up Justin Comics on Instagram. His link is in the description of all my videos. If you use that promo code We Are Legion, you can get a discount on your submission with him. So lastly, if you want to know what my top pick for this week is going to be and why you should consider picking it up, check out the Comic Vets channel. Every week he drops a video where him and I both give our take for what you should consider as your top pick for each week. And a huge thank you to the Augusta Book Exchange. They're the keepers of my comics, the guardians of my pool box. They always make sure everything I'm looking for is safe and secure. Every week when I get there, you won't find customer service better somewhere else. This is it, guys. Top of the line. And if you're ever in the Augusta area, pop in there. Tell Paul and Donna that I said hello. And until next time, guys, as always, I'm Mark, but we are Legion.